Construction Simulator 4 is now available for Nintendo Switch, and in this video we check out how the game feels and if it's worth buying. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up, let's go! This is a very extensive game that contains loads of quests, vehicles and a large world to explore. There is only one map, but I think it has enough content that you can play for days without finishing. In fact, many parts of the map are locked until you complete a number of missions, so there is a clear progression in this game. So the aim of the game is to unlock the entire world while earning money and building up your fleet of vehicles. Something that is easier said than done, as this is a game that requires patience, time, and that you have a balanced economy. But if we start with the jobs, there are some overall options to choose from. You can try a standalone contract, campaign, or repeat some of the campaigns you have completed before. There are tons of contracts to choose from and can be a great alternative if you want to earn money while using one of the game's machines or vehicles. It can be about transporting asphalt, repairing roads, or building houses. Every 10 minutes the quests are reset, so that way there is a constant rotation between the quests. So if you don't find a mission you want to complete, you can just wait until new missions are available. But what really moves the game forward and opens it up is the choice of campaign. These tasks can be quite extensive and often require several stages. They can take many hours to complete, but the reward can consist of getting paid well while getting closer to your goal, namely unlocking new parts of the game. So campaign is really what you should choose if you want to play the game from start to finish and get the most out of what this has to offer. Some campaigns can also be relatively challenging as they require the use of several machines, and if you don't own a vehicle you can rent one, but I discovered that the costs for renting can be quite sour, and if you want to make a profit in the long run, there is a clear advantage to buying and owning your own things. Sometimes you don't have a choice. The machines are quite expensive, and if you don't own them, there is no other option but to rent. The quests here are pretty fun though. It could be about building cinemas, lighthouses or expanding a port area. So there is a rich variety of tasks, which means that there is always a fun goal. Anyway, I thought it was entertaining to see what things led to. You start from scratch and a few hours later you have constructed something big. If we take a look at the vehicles that are available, there is, as I said, a rich selection, but to name a few, you have the classic vehicles such as excavators, wheel loaders and regular trucks. That's almost what you can expect, but the further into the game you get, the more advanced vehicles are needed. Here we are talking about cranes, concrete pumps and drilling rigs. And if you don't know how a vehicle works, there is a tutorial for each individual vehicle. Yeah, this is actually very good, as some vehicles can be quite complicated and require several maneuvers. In addition, there are usually several different brands to choose from. For example, you can buy excavators from brands such as Liebherr, Cat and Atlas, so it's pretty cool that they got licenses to famous brands. However, some vehicles can be relatively fiddly to control, and I noticed that it took a while to get used to how they operate. Basically, all the buttons on the control are used, and sometimes you have to switch between different menus to get a vehicle to work as intended. Not always so easy, but I have a hard time seeing how it could be done otherwise. It also gives a sense of realism as you get the opportunity to handle a vehicle in many different ways. For example, a certain precision is required when using a vehicle with crawler tracks. They are controlled completely differently compared to a truck driving on country roads. So the knowledge of how each vehicle works is also to the game's advantage, as it contributes to a varied experience. The problematic thing, however, is that I encountered some bugs. Sometimes certain functions on a vehicle could not be activated. And on one occasion I could not use my crane, even though I owned one. It said I had to buy one. Very strange, as I was pretty sure I owned one. I had to solve everything by renting a crane. Very strange. It's also not possible to customize the control, but I don't see that as a problem actually. The game is bursting with different features, so it's almost better to leave it at that and get used to the control scheme as it is laid out. I have also discovered some oddities in the game. If you drive at full speed and crash, it can look like this. And sometimes it feels like the law of gravity has stopped. No idea what 10 tons of concrete is doing up in the sky. Something that is also an entertaining aspect of the game is that you can gain experience points and gain new advantages. When you complete a mission, you gain experience, and when you level up, you can, for example, add points that make you earn more money or that you pay less when you buy a new vehicle. These skills can prove to be very important, especially when it comes to one's finances. It costs both to buy and rent vehicles, plus you have monthly costs, so that little extra economic push you get from your skills can turn out to be more important than you think. Another way to earn money is to complete one of the game's challenges. It can be about driving a certain number of kilometers or completing a certain number of tasks within each category. For example, performing 25 crane jobs. Some challenges are quite strange though. You will be rewarded if you drive 1 kilometer backwards. Anyway, these challenges are worth it as the rewards are good. They can definitely help you build a bigger economy and be able to buy the vehicles you want and need. So, is Construction Simulator 4 worth buying? The price in Nintendo's eShop is set at $35, and perhaps the price tag seems high. But the fact is that this is a very comprehensive and playable simulator. There is simply so much to do and learn in this game, but I can also see that this is a game that is hardly for everyone. It's a slow-paced game and requires lots of time to get anywhere at all. A single mission can take several hours to complete, and if you want that quick game that takes a few minutes to complete, well, look elsewhere. Performance is generally okay too. I haven't experienced any crashes, which is good. However, as I said, I have noticed a couple of bugs which were a little annoying. The frame rate is generally okay, regardless of where in the game you are. You can also see a little pop-in here and there, but personally I tend to be lenient with it. They exist and you see it happen, but I don't think it bothers that much. So if you have plenty of time and patience and also appreciate driving around with excavators and wheel loaders, then this could be an interesting option. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. Have a great day. See ya!